Arkansas, my lick is so scenic. I'm California, dudes. Los Angeles, my capital. Come to Colorado if you go. I'm Connecticut, my capital is Welcome to Dover, visit Delaware if you're bored. My name is Florida! Tallahassee's a place to be. I am Atlanta's a great city. Aloha, I'm Hawaii. Come to Idaho and you go. We're the United States of America. We're 50 strong and proud. Here's the names of all our states. Sing loud. Welcome to Illinois. Springfield is a place to see. Indiana is in me. I am Iowa. And if you visit Kansas, Topeka, down here in Louisiana, Baton Rouge is real pretty. Up here in Maine, Augusta is really nice. Here in Maryland, Napa worth its price. Visit Massachusetts, a little pea. Hey, it's Minnesota, St. Paul's the capital. But down in Mississippi, Jackson is the place to roll. Hi there, I'm Missouri, city's really cool. But up here in Montana, really rules. Midway in Nebraska, you should stop by. Braddock is the one we think is pretty. New Hampshire welcomes you anytime. If you stop by New Jersey, Trenton is quite. I am Mexico, my capital, Santa. New York's the Empire State. Here in North Carolina, you can see Raleigh anytime. My name is Ohio is all mine. We're the United States of America. We're 50 strong and proud.
Here's the names of all our states.
In the great state of Salem, you can trust. Pennsylvania is my name, and Harrisburg is a must. Rhode Island province is where you should go. I am from Carolina, Columbia is what I know. Up here in Sierra is a heck of a town. When you're in Tennessee, Nashville won't make you frown. Texas is my name, Austin's no more great music.
Guitar's really great, Salt Lake City is amazing.
Up here in Vermont, Virginia is a state that
Washington, is my capital.
Wisconsin is the cheese and Madison's really nice.